What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jobbers and Goons. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We've been doing a lot of comic book updates. We're bringing back Roll Battle, Reversal Series, all that good stuff. Smash the like button. I got Immortal Thor coming out soon. We'll be covering that. Super excited for that. But today we got to cover a death battle that we spoke on before it came out. Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer. And we're going to circle back and talk about what they ended up saying in their episode, which dropped today. But before we do that, 200 plus likes would be amazing if you love content like this, as well as check out my Discord. We do games, prizes, giveaways, D&Ds, and more. But without further ado, let's get into this death battle. So let's review my initial thoughts on this. First of all, the reasoning behind their battle, the way they went about explaining their ruling in this instance, I didn't have too much of a problem with. It was more logical than usual. I understood where they were coming from, and it wasn't that bad. The stuff we're going to talk about today in terms of the debunk is me disagreeing on what they use to arrive at certain points. Because, like I said, you can have the right conclusion, you can have decent logic, but still have flaws in your total argument. So, first off, referring back to the preview video I did with my buddy GB actually said he thought they would give it to Surfer. They would say he's more versatile, and because of that, he would win. And that is indeed what Death Battle pretty much chalked it up to. One thing I disagreed with was they essentially just let it fly, and they said it's pretty much stats equal across the board. That was kind of their approach to the ruling on how the stats would go in this matchup, like AP, speed, and whatnot. I'm not sure if I agreed on that, strictly because it kind of goes against what they've said before. They've had like Wonder Woman just blatantly outstats Thor, whereas we know Thor scales to Surfer. Like, we know that. They fought so many times. Yet, apparently, Surfer just has the means to put down Manhunter, whereas Wonder Woman can beat up Thor no problem. You see where I'm getting at? It's kind of a little slippery based on prior rulings from Death Battle on other characters. Another thing they did was they kind of got weird about the mind hacks and didn't really explain why certain things scaled to one another. For example, in their addressing of the Martian Manhunter capabilities with his telepathic prowess, that, in my opinion, probably would be the biggest win con for Manhunter, especially since we know his mind hacks can also essentially double as astral attacks as well. When he showcased this against the entire white Martian race that was essentially soloing the league. Manhunter has insane mind hacks, has mind hacks Mixie, has mind hacks Old Gods. He has plenty of feats, and my reason for bringing up all this is when they said Surfer could kind of counter it, they started off by saying Galactus has mind hacks him, and he kind of resisted sometimes, but on top of this, they followed up with bringing up a character that mind hacks Surfer one time, and he kind of resisted, but that character doesn't really have good scaling. They did like Leader with the Mind Gem that he got away from eventually. That's way better scaling than the first character they brought up, but my reason for this being a big deal is you kind of have to explain how a certain character scales to what Manhunter has pulled off as a telepath. For example, you can't say, okay, perfect example, Harry Potter can resist like basic telepathic attacks, legitimacy and Harry Potterverse. That's like saying Manhunter can't mind hacks Harry Potter because he's resisted mind hacking before. You have to demonstrate like to which tier, and I didn't feel like they properly went about saying that in terms of explaining why Surfer is a higher tier on telepathic and astral resistance. That's why he could nag Manhunter. I didn't feel like we really were conclusively given that. We were basically told, hey, we're going to kind of chalk this up to stats equalize, and Surfer's more versatile, so ultimately he would win. This would come down to how nuanced they got in why one character scales to something else, why Surfer ultimately has the AP to put him down, but Manhunter's mind hacks don't scale. That was weird. I don't agree with that part. Like I said, their overall approach to the conclusion made sense on paper. I get it. More versatile, has more win cons. Cool. But like I said, when we're getting into the Marvel versus DC, especially when you said like Superman's limitless, Wonder Woman would beat the shit out of Thor, stuff like that. Doomsday would beat the shit out of Hulk. Suddenly, Surfer clutching up on Manhunter is a bit weird to me, especially when Manhunter has so many statements and feats, putting him in the ballpark of a Wonder Woman, of a Flash, of a Superman. So the explanations behind this, while the basic logic I actually think was better than the majority of death battles, there were some parts to it I disagreed with, and in my initial reaction, which is obviously this video, I think they could have done a better job explaining. However, like I said, one of their better episodes was more logical in conclusion than most that they do. I enjoyed it. Again, this is no hate towards Death Battle. Make sure to go like and subscribe to them if you haven't already. A lot of people try to come here and say I'm hating on them for doing debunks. No, debunks is a thing I've done for a long time. I took like a 1.5 year break from it once, but I forgot what battle they did that pissed me off. But we're back with debunks, and they're fun to just rebuttal, respond to certain rulings from Death Battle and why I agree, disagree, or think it's a bit weird. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out all my new content. I've been putting out a lot of content per usual, as well as I will have an Immortal Thor update video dropping soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.